All right, it is live fantasy football draft time. We are doing this podcast as we draft live. This is a Yahoo 8-team league here. Gonna walk you through. We got about 5 minutes until the draft starts here. Um, None of the guys that are in my league are currently on the call, so I think if you've watched this podcast or listened to this podcast before, you know my strategy is essentially RB0. It's going for all the wide receivers in the beginning. It's going for the tight ends. It's going for QBs, maybe not until in this draft, possibly the 7th round. Don't tell anybody I told you that. But in this league, there are 3 wide receiver slots, as you can see here, and 2 superflex slots. So you can have up to 5 starting wide receivers and 1 starting tight end, and then 2 running backs, a quarterback, and then a kicker and a defense, and then 6 bench players. So that's going to be my strategy, to go for all wide receivers. We'll see how this shakes out. 8-team league means there's going to be a lot of good players. Every team is going to have a lot of good players, so I'm really looking forward to that. Our strategy here, so we're drafting on Labor Day. So the strategy behind that is you get to see who is injured and you get the latest news. I have another couple leagues that are drafting tomorrow. You know, people that drafted before, a huge one. So to have that kind of knowledge, and everything has settled down now. All the practices are done. All the training camps are done. All the preseason games are done. And now Yahoo is introducing a weird video. I don't want to see your video, Yahoo. Thank you very much. So you have a chance to know about everything that's already been done, unless there's like an injury in practice. But really, I'm sure they're not going to go full contact in practice, really. So, you have all the knowledge you need now. I'm curious, if you're listening to this, drop in the comments. Who do you think is going to do well? Who did you guys pick in your draft? Who are you high on this year? What strategy do you have? Do you have zero RB? I learned recently this year about hero RB, which I did consider for a second, but then I thought to myself, in an 18 league, maybe it makes some sense. But especially if you're in a 10 or 12 team league, if you have like one of the first 3 picks, and let's see if I can let in Abdurrahman here. Let me see. Could I move? There we go. All right, view. Let me see if I can admit him. All right. AR, what's up, man?
What's up, Bags? How are you, bro?
How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How's life treating you?
Doing good. Good to see you, man. How you been?
Likewise. Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah, back in Florida, Gainesville.
Yeah.
Here.
Nice. How's the weather out there?
It seems to be turning, so that's the plus side.
Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It's a little bit cooler today, and so I'm kind of just waiting for it to kind of cool down, man. It's been a really hot summer.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of super excited.
Bro,
for it to cool down.
We are baking here in D.C.
Yeah?
It got up to like 97 yesterday. It's going to get up to 100 on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Whoa.
So it is a struggle.
Man.
Yeah.
Yo, good luck with that, bro. Yeah, that sounds really rough.
Does
like
it?
100 in D.C. with humidity too, man.
It's wild, man. I was at the volleyball courts yesterday, and I was just freaking baking, just roasting.
You're out there playing, bro?
Yeah.
Oh,
I drank like 2 gallons of water. It was wild.
Yeah, you might need to get some salt in you, bro.
Yeah, seriously. Dude, I drank so much water, trust me, and I got some electrolytes after as well. But we got 12 seconds till the draft starts here. As you know, I am recording this for the draft for the podcast. So
Awesome.
This is your official first time on the podcast, because the first time it happened, you were on the first ever podcast,
Yeah.
and I had issues recording that, unfortunately. That was the first and only time I ever had issues recording, but now it is recording well. So looking forward to this draft, man.
Yeah, good to be
Um,
back, man.
yeah,
Um, so I've seen some people are auto drafting, including your brother.
yeah. I told him to jump on. I know he's at ISNA. I'm gonna just say that the picks here for those listening on Spotify. So first pick was Justin Jefferson. I was thinking by Salah. Second pick was Jamar Chase, taken by Ahad, who I think just got. Well, I'm not gonna share any personal stuff, but anyway, he is also auto drafting, and now it is AR up with the third pick.
I
Let's
mean,
see.
it's hard to see anything other than Christian McCaffrey here, or justify. I mean, you kind of can, I guess, with Tyreek and Austin Eckler, but I think I'm gonna
Absolutely.
go Christian McCaffrey.
CMC off the board at number 3 to AR. You know, he
Can't
he
go wrong there.
he's poised for. I mean, he's got a great coach. So Bassam with
Yeah,
the fourth pick takes Tyreek Hill. Salah joined the draft a little late. He missed his first pick, but he got Justin Jefferson. I don't think he'll be too upset with that.
not at all.
No.
Yeah, I was surprised that he didn't go Austin Eckler and took Tyreek Hill. Um, just scarcity of running back, and there seems to be some good options down the line for wide receiver. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, there goes Austin Eckler with the fifth pick that goes to Jawad. Quickly, the sixth pick to Malad is Stephon Diggs. And then Garrett Wilson goes to Mo at number 7. And they're going to leave me my favorite guy here. I mean, I've been talking this guy up. I think he's the best receiver in the league. And they're just going to leave him to me here. So I'm very happy with that. I'm going to go Devontae Adams. And at the turn here, again, um, I love having this 8-1 turn because I get two of my favorite receivers here, two of the top receivers in the league. At number 9, I'm going with AJ Brown. What a
That is
receiver
a
this guy is.
great combo.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. 10 oh, this is going fast. 10, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and 11, we got Bijan Robinson. So he sneaks out of the first round in an 8-team draft here.
Honestly, Amonra's a steal.
He's great. He's great. CeeDee Lamb going at 12. Nick Chubb going at 13 to Bessem. This is going fast. Now AR is up.
I mean, I'm loving Saquon right here. I
Ooh,
can't lie.
he loves the RBs.
Yeah, I think it's might as well just get him stacked now. I do like the Slim Reaper Devontae Smith, but it's a bit of a reach. I think I would go with Jalen Waddle before Devontae Smith, anyways. So yeah, I'm just gonna stack running backs right here and go.
Saquon Barkley off the board at number 14. So AR's got CMC and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
That's a beauty of an 8-team league, huh?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey, nice.
Travis Kelsey at 15.
I mean, honestly, I have him at 8th overall, so it's kind of like getting him at 14 is. I'll take that.
Amazing. Amazing. Derrick Henry goes off the board. Travis Kelsey at 15. Derrick Henry at 16. Patrick Mahomes at 17. Man, this is going quick. That's what I like about these 8-team leagues. They go by quick, too. 18, Tony Pollard off the board, and AR is back up.
Oh, Tony Pollard, there you go. Nick Chubb is gone. You got Josh Jacobs. I think I go Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. There you go. AR takes Jalen Waddle at 19. Great rate receiver. Bessem goes with Devonta Smith at 20. Bessem has had Devonta Smith every year he's been in the league. He loves Devonta
Honestly,
Smith.
he's amazing.
He if there was a college fantasy draft, Bessem would have taken Devonta Smith too. He really loves Devonta Smith, and he's a great player. If AJ Brown wasn't on that team, he would probably dominate receptions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's doing great. Like, even with AJ Brown, they seem to be able to feed both of them. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Dallas Goedert. Like, we'll see how he kind of like develops this year. But he's kind of just been on the decline. Has been hurt. But overall, a great tight end. Calvin Ridley, good pick.
Absolutely. Josh Jacobs at 21, Calvin Ridley at 22, Chris Olave at 23. I wanted to take him. Now I have a minute to go through some of my picks here to see who I want. Yeah, this is an easy pick for me. Again, you know my strategy. I'm going wide receiver. I'm just going to take a little bit here so I can see who I want after this guy that I'm taking.
You gonna take a guess?
Go ahead and guess.
DK Metcalf.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I can see anybody else here that I want. No, I'm pretty sure the two players I'm going to take here. At number 24, we're taking DK Metcalf. You got it right there, AR. And I'm gonna at the turn here at number 25. Let me see. I have a big conundrum here. You know, Cooper Kupp is injured, and they said he's gonna go see a specialist
He's
in
still seeing a
Minnesota.
specialist. I mean,
So
honestly, if he happens to recover, this would be a steal.
big time steal. I don't know. You know, they mailed it in last year. The Rams did, and I'm going to go with the safer guy here. I'm going to go with my man Amari Cooper
Good
at
pick.
number 25.
Can I ask why you didn't go for T. Higgins?
Well, Cooper Kupp went right after me at 26, and then T Higgins at 27 to Malad. My strategy is to go for the number one guys on the team.
That's fair.
It's just the way I know you took Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Waddle is actually because of his size, he's much bigger than Tyreek. He actually looks more like a number one, so I don't fault you for going for Jalen Waddle, and he's an amazing receiver, man.
I mean, I kind of like receivers who could be ones, but are given the easier coverage based off having a one like Tyreek Hill on their team. They
Right.
seem to be producing. Honestly, it's a huge part of why the Slim Reaper does so well. Like, you have AJ Brown there, and you kind of just start to ask, like, hey, is like, plus there aren't really. I would have liked DK. I know him and Gino are kind of developing something, but Jalen Waddle is just young, fast, great route runner, putting up 1,000-yard seasons, like decent amount of touchdowns. On any other team, it could be a one.
Yep, that's true. That's what it is. And you know, T Higgins, I actually am a big fan of his mechanics as a receiver. The way he catches the ball, I always say he reminds me of Larry Fitzgerald. He is a textbook receiver, and he just happens to have Jamar Chase with him, who is probably a little better all around, which is why he's the number one guy. But T Higgins is right behind him. So at 28, we got Josh Allen going to Jawad. At 29, Best, I'm taking Travis Etienne again for the second year in a row. He likes his guys, and we got AR here at number 30.
All right. So it's hard not to want a running back.
Oh, you love those running backs. We got two super flex positions, so
I do like me some Ramondre right here.
ooh. Is he gonna go with Ramondre?
I think so. I can't argue with Jameer Gibbs either, but I'll take Ramondre. Just
Ramondre off the board at number 30 to AR. He is stacked at running back at this point. Barkley, CMC, and Ramondre. And who is your other pick?
Jalen Hurts. Waddle, McCaffrey, Barkley,
There we go.
Ramondre.
Waddle. Number 31, Jalen Hurts is off the board, so we're starting to see some quarterbacks. I'm a little surprised by that, but if you want your guy, I guess you got to draft him early. So
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen off the board at 32. Salah at the turn has another pick. He's going Mark Andrews at number 33. The second tight end off the board.
Joe Mixon. Good
Joe Mixon
take.
at 34.
So we still got, I'm loving myself some more running back here. Like, I can't lie. Like, they're just sitting there, and you're just like, maybe take a gamble on Jameer Gibbs. I like how Pittsburgh is looking this year, so Najee might have a good year. Man, this is tough. Najee, Jameer, and Aaron Jones. I think
pick.
because we're a PPR league, I might have to take this gamble.
All right.
I think go with Jameer Gibbs and see how this rookie does.
Going with Jameer Gibbs at number 35. I love that pick. If you know me, I love rookie running backs. I think that's their prime because they have no damage. Jameer Gibbs, guy that was drafted in the first round, going to start for Detroit in all likelihood. I know they have David Montgomery there now, but I think Jameer Gibbs is going to get the majority of the work.
I think he's going to get quite a lot of receptions. And sitting at a PPR league, I was like, let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
You kind of have to take a little bit of a gamble on some of these rookie running backs because you've never really seen them play in the NFL in hopes to give you that small little edge to kind of like come out with a championship.
Yeah. That's true. All right. Bassem is up now with the 36th pick. I'm just looking at guys that he's drafted before. I think I don't know, maybe Debo. That's my guess. Debo's my guess. Aaron Jones at number 36.
Not bad.
That's pretty good. That's a good pick. Okay.
So, can you explain to me the philosophy of this wideouts off the board, like early?
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, and I know this goes counter to what you've done so far, but I think running backs just get injured so much more often than receivers in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I just fade them so much more. And also in PPR, you're talking about extra points that come in with receptions, which receivers specialize in. So it's my strategy to take the top receivers first, and then and then as you'll see here, I'm gonna do something at the turn here. I go with young running back. So I think in my ranking, I had Bijan and Jameer Gibbs actually as the top two running backs because they're rookies. They haven't had damage, and they're starting. So you see, that's why Muhammad told me before this not to drop my running back rankings, and I did, and he took my guy. I was going to take Dameon Pierce. I'm really, really upset about that. Now I have to reevaluate.
Still got some great options.
Yeah, but none of them as good as him. Jeez. Okay. Well, I'm going to go first with my wide receiver pick here. This is a guy that had a terrible quarterback last year, but has a ton of. But actually, you know what? This is like a last-second thing. Yeah, I got to go with Terry McLaurin. He has the pedigree. He has what I'm looking for in a receiver. Now I gotta try to pick up the pieces of this running back thing. This is tough. I mean, I'm going between two guys. All right, I think this guy's going to break out this year. He does have a guy behind him, but he is a little bit of a bigger guy than the other guy that I wanted to pick, who I'm not going to name. So I'm going James Cook, the brother of Dalvin Cook, at number 41. And I think
you're going to pick up Damien Harris?
No, I from what I saw in the preseason, Damian Harris is the clear number 2, and they're not playing him as much. So it looks like James Cook's job. So just recap some of the picks. 36 was Aaron Jones, 37 Tyler Lockett, 38 Najee Harris, 39 Dameon Pierce, and then I took Terry McLaurin at 40, James Cook at 41, and then Christian Watson went at 42, Lamar Jackson at 43 by Malad. Lamar Jackson is polarizing. What do you think of Lamar?
I'm hoping something develops for him. I just feel like, oh, there goes Debo. I honestly feel like they're constantly missing something, and I think it has a lot to do with their wide receiver core. Um, I am not a fan of Bateman. I don't see the hype. I've never fed into the hype. In these dynasty leagues, he was getting traded around for like first round picks and a second round pick,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, this is just insanity. And mainly because I had one of those players where I drafted with the fifth pick in a rookie draft in N'Keal Harry. And so I felt that pain. And seeing it was just playing all over again. I was like, I want no part of this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have to let them kind of like fight it out for Bateman. I did pick up Zay Flowers in a rookie draft this year. And so
Gotcha. Well,
I'm really hoping something develops for them.
Yeah. Well, it's your pick here. So you're up after Debo went 44. Drake London went at 45. I thought that was a great pick. Drake London could be a great player this year. I was almost going to pick him, actually, but I went with
A lot of people are going to say this is a reach, but the next wide receiver on my rankings is D-Hop.
Ooh, I forgot about D-Hop.
Yeah, I might have to reach for him, give myself another receiver here. Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore. Well, if DJ Moore falls to me, I think I'll pick him up. But
Okay.
for now, I'm taking D-Hop.
D-Hop at number 46. I said in my rankings he is the guy to have in Tennessee. I think he's quite a bit better than Treylon Burks, and Treylon Burks has an injury issue. So
A little bit. I think he's quite a bit better.
yeah, well, I think Treylon Burks has a lot of hype behind him, and I think he has potential, but he's just always injured.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
I think though he's gonna have a Devonte Adams-esque come up, where he's kind of struggling the first few years finding his footing, but I think overall he's a great receiver. I think he needs to kind of like shed a little bit of weight, but I think overall he's gonna develop. I think it's gonna take him a few years, that's for sure.
Yeah. Off the board here at 47, J.K. Dobbins. Speaking of injuries, Kenneth Walker at 48. I'm really upset about that. I wanted him. San Francisco defense off at number 49, the first defense off the board, and then Miles Sanders at 50, and AR is back up.
Reach. I got a bunch of running backs sitting on top of this. I'm just like, I see some more down there. So, this is a little bit tough. DJ Moore and I'm also liking Chris Godwin around here. A little bit of a reach, but overall he's just been so consistently good in terms of production. Can't really argue with Deontay Johnson either, but I love me Chris Godwin. So.
Chris Godwin, sure hands going off the board at 51 to AR. What do you think of Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask? What do you think of his QB situation?
So I had Kyle Trask in a dynasty league. Man, I love believing in second and third string quarterbacks. It's kind of like my thing. They seem to really believe in Baker Mayfield over there, and so it's tough to say how it kind of plans out. If he actually worked on the things that he needed to work on, like bouncing from team to team, and kind of like he's healthy again. He was pretty injured in Cleveland. He could sit there for a few years.
Yeah.
It's all about seeing how all this plays out in the first few weeks of the season, to be honest, and see how he does. There's Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore.
Back to back. Those are you guys coming off the board. That's one of the most heartbreaking things about fantasy. Deontay Johnson going off at 52, DJ Moore at 53.
People are just out here ignoring these running backs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Again, Mo takes the tight end I want. So Breece Hall goes at 54. Darren Waller at 55. I was waiting to get Darren Waller. Now I am crushed, and I have to reevaluate everything. Oh boy. Okay. That is a blow to my team for sure. Well, first I'm going to take the running back that I wanted, which is Isaiah Pacheco. I believe in that guy a lot. I think he's really, really good. And then the tight end that I want here, between two guys, but I think the guy with the higher upside, and I'm really banking on this upside because he is maybe the most talented tight end in the league, maybe after
Can
Travis
I
Kelsey.
can I guess?
You can guess.
Kyle Pitts.
I just feel like I have to do it. Some of these other guys that I'm considering are very reliable, but this guy has so much upside. I got to go with Kyle Pitts here at
Good
number
pick.
57. I hope it pans out, man. There were so many weeks. I had him last year as well. So many weeks he just disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and DeAndre
I
Swift
mean,
there. Huh?
Yeah, I just think people didn't give him time to develop. I mean, they say tight end is one of the hardest positions, and people just wanted him to come in and pretty much like be a wide receiver.
Yes.
So like it does take time, but I think overall, yeah, he's going to be great. There goes
So.
T.J. Hawk.
T.J. Hawkinson off the board at 59, and before that, Mo, who has been clearly studying my rankings, took DeAndre Swift at 58, who I think is an amazing pick. He's really underrated. Dallas Goedert at 60. Oh boy,
I think I might be reaching here again. All right, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields the best. I'm off the board at 61. He has potential to break out this year because of his receivers.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, getting DJ Moore, great pick. All right, AR on the board here at number 62.
I might actually fade QBs for a while.
Interesting strategy.
What's George Kittle like this year? Let's see. Undisclosed working off the side. An adductor strain.
8 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to go for somebody that people have faded a little too much.
Alvin Kamara at 62. Oh, man. After those 3 weeks, that guy is going to just break out and be a great, great player. Brandon Ayuk off the board at 63. That's a good pick, man. That's a really good pick. I saw him play in the preseason. He looks really good.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by people fading him like this much, and I'm like, ooh, that's a problem.
It's just that 3-game suspension, man. That's it, But after that, you're gonna be golden.
Man, I kind of do like him.
Cam Akers at 64 off the board.
See, that was gonna be the other pick. If it wasn't Alvin Kamara, but
Mike Evans at 65. I still like Mike Evans. I've had him in fantasy over the years. He gets injured in a game and then comes back injured, gets injured, comes back, but is just fights through injuries. Number 66, Jahan Dotson off the board, and AR, you're back up here at 67. What a nice fast draft this is.
Yeah, I would have gone with Jahan, but since he's not there, I'm going to give me a QB. And no, it might be a reach. I'm going to give me Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Oof. Good player.
I think we were far enough down. What is this? What round is this? The 9th?
This is the 9th round. George Kittle off the board after that. Jonathan Taylor at 69. That's an interesting pick. If he signs with a team, that could be good, but I don't know if he's going to sign because I think he's out for at least the first 4 games, right?
Yeah. He is out for at least the first 4 games.
Mike Williams off the board to Malata, his favorite team, the Chargers. Mo, I hope he doesn't pick my guy. He's been watching all of my rankings. I know it based on his picks. I hope he doesn't take my guy here. I'd be very upset. Okay, he didn't. Thank God. Javonte Williams off the board at 71. Okay, so I already know
I
what
do
I'm
like
going to
that
do.
pick.
I already know what I'm going to do here. Thankfully, this guy's still here, Justin Herbert. I'm taking him at
Good
number
man.
72. And then I'm doing something that I know a lot of people don't do, but I'm just going to go ahead and take the best kicker in the league here, Justin Tucker at 73, since we have a kicker slot.
Wow.
So I don't got to
You
worry
know,
about
I'm
kicking.
I'm one of those believers in streaming kickers. I
I
stream kickers
Trust me.
every year.
I agree with you if it's anyone other than Justin Tucker.
That's very true.
That
That
so
is
if
very
if
true.
he had gone off the board, I would have not placed. I probably wouldn't have even drafted a kicker. So, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
other than him,
I'm one of those believers in just streaming. Ooh, George Pickens.
George Pickens, I'm a big fan of him as well. I think he
Me
has
too.
potential to be at least the 1B to Deontay Johnson's 1A. He makes spectacular catches. I think he's a great receiver.
Yeah, yeah. I think they can kind of develop into a Juju Antonio Brown type thing where actually Deontay Johnson might eat more. Um, but again, it's hard to tell. It's a little too early.
Yeah.
James Conner at that is a great value.
James Conner at 75, Dalvin Cook at 76. Those are interesting picks there. James Conner is going to be on a really bad team, though. The Cardinals, everything I see about them makes me think they're going to go 0-17 or 1-16. But he is going to get the ball a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the part where they're just gonna run him this year.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna play it safe and just really, really just run him.
Yep.
As most of their offense just kill time, like and just. That's why honestly, he's pretty high in my rankings of. Like I have him above Javonte Williams, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Christian Watson, Deontay Johnson, J.K. Dobbins, Brees Hall, Justin Fields, Jahan Dotson. I think he's going to eat this year, and he's going to eat a lot.
Yeah. You know, he got a lot of touchdowns. That's what I remember him. I was really low on him for a long time, and then I saw what he did there. He just got touchdown after touchdown. He got all the goal line carries. Dallas defense goes at 77, and AR is back on the board here at 78. Interested to see what he does.
You know, I love me running backs. And there's another one that I have really high on my list.
Oh, boy. I was getting nervous.
It's going to be Rashad White.
Oh, interesting. Interesting pick. I think he's a great pass catcher out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he's known for.
Most of his, 2 out of his 3 touchdowns came from receiving touchdowns. I like him a lot. So.
Yeah. Wow. Philadelphia defense off the board at 79. We're seeing defenses start to go off the board. Defense is one of those things that over the years I've come to what you say about kickers, that's what I do with defenses. I can't even. It's so hard. You know, you're talking about 11 players base and then all these backups. Like, I don't know. They don't have those dominant defense of the past. You know, like in the past when Seattle was dominant, I would get Seattle. You know, like way back when the Ravens were dominant, I would get the Ravens. But like, who do you think is? I don't even know what. I don't know if I'll ask you here because I don't want you to give it away. But do you think there are dominant defense in the NFL right now?
I think there's one, and it just went.
Philadelphia. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm thinking about it now, in that draft, they did really well to also draft and
they are scary.
Yeah,
they are legitimately scary.
That's true.
I mean, also, I think with Belichick, New England is it starts off a little rough, but if you get them towards kind of like the later end of the season after he's done his like film study, they tend to just come back on a rise. Like if you can get New England, there goes my pick, Christian Kirk.
Jerry Jeudy went off the board at 80 after the defense. He is, I guess, coming back from an injury. But Christian Kirk at 81, Daniel Carlson at 82. So kickers are starting to come off the board. AR is back on the clock here at number 82.
You know, this is a little bit of a reach again. Like, I'm currently just now it's time to just reach for my guys. And somebody I love and want to make sure I get just from his production and hoping he comes back really strong. I drafted him last year also believing in him that he would come back from injury pretty strong, but is Michael Thomas.
Oh, I like that pick. I have him in one of my other leagues. He has very, very high upside. He was a top three receiver when he was healthy, and then he had some shenanigans go on for a while, but he's back now. He had his surgery, and he's tandemed with Chris Olave, who was a great receiver, and he has a great, an improvement in quarterback, I would say, over Jameis Winston and Derek Carr. Very, very high upside. Michael Thomas
Yeah,
is a
they're
great
also
receiver.
saying that he looks pretty healthy in camp. Like
Yeah.
they say he's kind of like back to his old self, and honestly, I was a believer then, so I'm gonna continue to be a believer and go for him there. But man, was that a drop? That was a reach. I was like, what, at 30, maybe even more, 40-person reach? Like,
You think based on what? Based on Yahoo's rankings?
yeah,
Yeah, but Yahoo, I mean, who knows, man? Yahoo.
Tyler Bass.
Tyler Bass goes off at 85 to Bass himself.
Yeah, it's very interesting with what's around how people are kind of they're reaching, man. Like for kickers and defenses, like that's quite significant.
I know. Now I have to start considering because I see a lot of these guys going off the board here. New England defense off at 85, Pittman at 86, Madison at 87, and I have two picks here, which I'm going to take my time with a little bit because I'm really torn. Um, okay. Okay. So this is a guy I was really high on last year, and then he had a really unusual injury before the season started, and he was slow when he came back. But they're saying he looks absolutely amazing in camp. So I'm going with my guy Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders.
Good pick.
And then at the turn here, I'm going to go with another guy that I thought it was a little controversial. Actually, it's not controversial when you take a player like Bijan, but I thought Tyler Algier he broke the rookie rushing record for the Falcons. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, and I think they're going to use him a lot this year. I'm just going to go with Tyler Algier. I
Which
think,
made me curious as to why they drafted Bijan in the first place.
yeah, I was very curious about that too. I thought maybe the way to rationalize it is they want just a weapon that could do everything. He was too good to pass up because he also catches passes as well. So um,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how I'm rationalizing.
I feel like he could be a trade candidate.
Algier, I think
Yeah,
if they can get him actually like on Miami or something like that where he can start, I think that would be amazing.
yeah.
Khalil
Well,
Herbert goes off the board at 90. I think he's good. I think there's another guy. I don't want to share too much here. That's the thing about talking during the draft is you don't want to give up all the leads you got. But Addison going off at 91 here.
all right, all right. I mean,
Now
we're
I gotta.
really letting people sit here, huh?
Yeah, now I
Okay.
am. Now that we're getting into the end of the 12th round here, this is where it gets a little tricky because you're looking at some positions that don't have as much value. You're looking at some backups. You're looking at some potential.
Exactly.
So
I love a lot of what's going on here, to be honest. Trying to see how I can play this. Um, it's kind of potential-ish. I mean, if you go for them, you go for them. But like, I do like me Brandon Cooks, Cortland Sutton. Really hoping Nico Collins comes out and has a breakthrough year this year. Um, but for me, it's gonna be hard not to want to pick up a tight end here,
yeah,
and hope that Marquise Brown, just sitting there.
yep.
Um,
David Montgomery off the board at 92. Trevor Lawrence to Bassam at 93, and AR is on the clock.
Kevin Ingram. from here.
Evan Ingram, dude, he is the other guy that I was thinking about, him and Kyle Pitts. Evan Ingram is a wide receiver in disguise playing tight end.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great
There
pick.
goes Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown goes at 95. To be honest with you, I'm just fading Cardinals, man. I mean, everything I see about this team just looks like they're going to be a disaster. They're going to fire their coach. If somebody gets an injury, they're going to sit out all year. I'm being brutally honest with you. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll be completely wrong. Also, I want them to do bad because they're in the Seahawks division. So
Yeah.
I'm just praying on their downfall.
That's the team that I'm looking for defenses to stream against. So,
Yeah.
put it that way.
There you go. Smart.
I am going to take a. I think here's where I kind of take somebody that I want to do really well, but is a bit of a reach, and we see how he develops. But also drafted him in a dynasty league, and that is Jackson
I know.
Smith and Jigba.
Oh.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan.
Yes.
Actually, in a Superflex dynasty, I picked him over Jahmyr Gibbs and CJ Stroud because I had the one-on-one into Bijan, and I'm really receiver needy. Like, I've just been drafting a lot of receivers. Last year, I picked up Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson, and this year I picked up Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, and Jackson Smith. So hopefully they develop.
Nice. All right. Marquise Brown went at 95. Gabe Davis at 96. Jamal Williams at 97. Pat Fryermuth at 98. And AR is on the board at 99. Let's see what he goes with here.
How many bench spots do I still have? Okay. Yeah. Oh. Pick me Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Nice. As promised, goes with JSN at 99. Kirk Cousins. Bessem's going to have to drop a quarterback. He drafted 2 quarterbacks. We're not playing in a 2 QB league. Maybe he just likes having 2 quarterbacks, but he has Kirk Cousins and Trevor Lawrence now. So,
actually, he pretty much. That wasn't. I mean, it's always good to have a backup that you want.
Yeah.
Rather than later having to kind of like argue with yourself about who to drop. I was honestly looking to pick up either. Are you picking up a second QB?
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dak, Gino, or Deshaun.
Interesting.
I think Deshaun might be my pick, but also Dak just had a rough year. And honestly, Gino had a phenomenal year.
Oh, I hope that continues.
I hope so for you guys too.
Yeah. Raheem Mostert off the board at 101. Malad takes Zach Charbonnet, the backup running back, or maybe the tandem 1B in Seattle at number 102. And again, I am scared about what Mo takes here. And of course, he takes Tank Bigsby, who I was going to take. This is unreal. This is unreal stuff that's going on here. Mo, if you watch this back, I'm so upset that I released my rankings, and I'm going to reconsider whether I release them next year because I am not getting my guys at all. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, let's go down the line here. Man, I didn't think it was going to be this tough.
Jerick McKinnon did have a good year last year, and I do like Zeke. I think he's going to get a lot of touchdowns.
Okay, well, I know what I'm going with this pick. It's just the next pick. So this guy's going to be the only receiver in Denver, I think, that's reliable. Cortland Sutton, I'm going to go with him. And then this next guy, now this is a little bit tougher. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, I do this every year. Um, I am. It's just I'm between two players here. Uh, okay. I'm gonna go with the guy who I think has the better chance of supplanting the current starter, and I think he is actually maybe he might be tied with this other guy as the second or third best rookie that's not starting. I'm going with Roshan Johnson. I think he
Good
might.
man.
I think he might be replacing Khalil Herbert at some point.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
Aaron,
I'm in a huge rebuild in one of my dynasty leagues, and I gave up a lot. Like I sent away Derrick Henry and Kareem Hunt, and thankfully got great value for Kareem Hunt, surprisingly. But that so two of my and I got a bunch of picks like this year, and also traded away some of my first last year to kind of get some first this year. So I had 4 first round picks, and then 3 seconds. I traded away 2 seconds to go to the 12 spot, 112, and I picked up Roshan. And then at 201, I picked up Tank Bixby.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
big believer.
they look so good, man. Honestly, you watching them in preseason action, they both look excellent. So
They do. You know who I'm kind of a little bit annoyed that there's a lot of players, like when you dive into Dynasty, there's a lot of players that you just look at coaches and you're like, why aren't you using this person?
mm-hmm.
And one of them being Velus Jones from Chicago.
hmm.
Like, this man ran a 4.3. He's huge. And I'm just like, and he's sitting there as a receiver, but he's a punt returner and he does some sweeps for them. And I'm like, get him involved more. Like, you guys have these great, speedy receiver slash running backs, and I'm just really surprised that they're not using him. Like, I would have definitely used him over Khalil Herbert. I know it takes time to develop as a runner and learn this stuff, but
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Um, Aaron Rodgers goes at 106. Anthony Richardson at 107. I think that's underrated. I think he might be the best of the rookie QBs. Odell Beckham at 108. And Antonio Gibson at 109. AR looks like you got 10 seconds left for the pick here.
I think I'm gonna go with Gino.
Gino. Bro, you got Gino and JSN. I'm going to be rooting for your team informally. Absolutely. What a team. What a team. Man, I mean, Seahawks have good upside, I think, if that offense, it's just about their defense. It's just like it has been since the Legion of Boom left. It hasn't been the same, and we'll see how they do this year. But
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be doing all right though. To be honest, like they're not amazing like they were, but they once you kind of ship away Russell Wilson, you're kind of like in this rebuild this year. But I mean, the offense looks poised to do really well. I don't remember too much of their draft picks this year. If
yeah, well,
they
they had some high draft picks. They took the good cornerback out of Illinois at number 6, but he wasn't that highly regarded. Like he wasn't supposed to be a number 6 overall pick or number 5 overall pick. He's supposed to be maybe late first, early second. And then they took JSN a little bit later in the first round. So, and then they took a lot of defenders the rest of the draft, but we just don't know how they're going to pan out. They're getting Jamal Adams back. We'll see. They got Bobby Wagner back. So we'll see. We'll
you
see.
know, I think every team that picked up a corner ahead of, I think his name is Christian Gonzalez that went to the Patriots,
Yeah,
was just a horrible pick. And I remember
I know.
because the Redskins picked up a safety right before that Christian Gonzalez pick, and everybody was like, "Yeah, he's supposed to be great." I'm like, "Yeah, but like at some point you have to listen to like everybody said Christian Gonzalez was the best corner. Why would you guys just give this up?" And I don't know if I remember correctly, but I think the Patriots may have even traded up to get him.
I think they did. You're right.
Yeah.
And
I'm like,
That's the issue with the Seahawks, man. They try to get cute every year. You know, they drafted Rashad Penny in the first round. Like, what the hell was that about? They do stuff like that. Malik McDowell, you don't even know who that is because he faded out of the league really quick.
Yeah.
Um, Recapping some of the picks that went here after Geno: AJ Dillon at 111, Younghoe Koo at 112, Dak Prescott at 113, and Daniel Jones at 114. So we have a run of kickers and quarterbacks. AR is back on the clock here at 115 to make his
Um,
15th round pick. We got about 2.5 drafts, 2.5 rounds to go.
I'm looking at one bench spot left, and honestly, it's between Brandon Cooks, Traylon Burks, and Jerick McKinnon.
Mm.
Jerick McKinnon had 9 receiving touchdowns last year. Like, it's substantial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sky Moore didn't really pan out very well. I do like Brandon Cooks. I've always been a believer, but
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon off the board, the KC running back. Oh boy.
Now, the awesome thing about this league is the waiver wires are just filled with plug and play players.
Yeah.
If Brandon Cooks sits there, that's a great plug and play.
Yeah.
Juju could have a great year, great plug and play. Jacoby Myers is still sitting there.
Oh yeah. There's going to be a ton of great players on the waiver wire. That's the nice thing about the 8-team league is high scoring. I mean, we consistently score over 200 points, and it's just fun. It's fun when you score that much. Yeah.
200-point leagues are they're awesome. Quentin Johnson could have a great year. I'm just looking at this, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, somebody in one of my other leagues just spent like $5 on Quentin Johnson. So maybe something happened. Maybe I missed some of the news, but of course he is. He's a rookie. He has a ton of potential out of TCU. I mean, could be really really good.
I think from camp everybody's kind of praising him. I think he's probably looking to take Keenan Allen's spot. Keenan Allen's just been hurt constantly. I don't think he's finished this season in the last 2 or 3 seasons, right?
That's right. Yeah, trust me. As a guy that had him in my leagues, Keenan Allen has been disappointing. Even though he's a great possession receiver, he looks good in camp this year, but we will see. Okay, so I'm up here. I'll recap some of the picks since I have a couple minutes. So after Jerick McKinnon, Samaje Perine, and then Harrison Butker, and then David Njoku, and then the New Orleans defense. So I already know who I'm going to go with here. I do this every year. I have to be more patient this year because I end up cutting them before they start. But I think one of the best rookie running backs is the guy that is on the team with a guy that does get hurt a lot almost every year, and that is the Titans. And the guy I'm talking about is Tyjae Spears. So I'm taking him at 120. An incredible running back. And then at number 121 here, I'm going with my next pick, even though I am not a fan of his quarterback personally as a thrower. But what I've seen in the preseason from this guy is speed, and I'm going with Zay Flowers, number 121.
Good man. The draft capital on him is insane. And the only thing that worried me a little bit was the size. But it seems to be that these smaller receivers are doing well. And so I was surprised, I can't lie. I did draft him. I am a believer. I feel like this happens with every rookie, but I'll send you my draft for this year. But I also drafted Tyjae Spears. I'm also a believer.
Yes, amazing.
The one thing, though, so I got Zay Flowers because of it, but I did trade away my 112 last year for a second this year and a first this year, but I lost Garrett Wilson.
Interesting.
And that's a bit of a burn. Because I had the 201 last year also, and I really wanted Jahan Dotson. So I ended up picking up Jahan Dotson, but I traded away. I was like, I get a second this year. more draft capital. I'm in a rebuild mode. It was hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
But man, it does burn to lose Garrett Wilson though.
I know this year he fell into a good situation, but you couldn't have really predicted that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Honestly, drafting quarterbacks and wide receivers have been my biggest blunders in Dynasty. Um, N'Keal Harry, Dwayne Haskins, just so many blundered picks.
I don't fault, but listen, I don't fault you for N'Keal Harry because if you watched him in college, I watched him very closely. He played in the Pac-12. He was
Arizona, right?
he was Arizona State. I forget, but
Right.
he was one of the best wide receiver prospects I saw coming out of college. He just happened to go to the Patriots, where if you're not like very smart, I don't think that you can grasp that playbook and be able to I don't know, excel really as a rookie receiver. Maybe there's a lot of factors, but I don't blame you because everything we saw on film about N'Keal Harry was positive.
Said that. Yeah. And so, and then same coming back with Garrett Wilson. I think with Zach Wilson, I wasn't a believer. I just was not a believer in the Jets. I love their coach. Just wasn't a believer in their quarterback play, and so that was a huge reason why I kind of gave it up. But I love Jahan Dotson, so I went with him.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a little nervous here. After Zay Flowers, it was Dalton Kincaid, the New York Jets defense, Evan McPherson, Elijah Moore, Buffalo defense, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Higbee, Denver defense, Pittsburgh defense, where I was just going to take. And now I'm getting nervous because as much as I was talking about fading defenses, I don't want to have my lineup be illegal essentially and not start a defense. So I do need to take one, and slim pickings for me. But AR is on the clock here, and he takes Riley Patterson. Interesting. I didn't know the Detroit kicker. What do you know about Riley Patterson?
I don't know very much.
Okay.
And I told you I'm a streamer, so I kind of took whoever's at the top and was going to go with that. There's enough for us to stream. Do like Jason Myers, Seattle kicker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great kickers, and so I kind of just see what they're looking for and kind of hope for the best. Graham Gano also can't go wrong.
Yeah. After Riley Patterson, Chiga Conquo goes to Bessem. That's another one of his favorites. Deshaun Watson after that. Jason Sanders after that. Joey Sly, the VTech guy, goes to Mo. And then with my last pick here, I'm just going to go ahead and take a defense that has been known in the past to do well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the Baltimore defense with the last pick in the draft.
Good man.
So that does it for this draft. That was a 17-round draft. We got it done in less than an hour. We got it done in 53 minutes. How's that for efficiency?
It's amazing. These dynasty drafts, honestly, they were rough, man. I went through a startup dynasty yesterday in 5 hours. 5
Ooh!
hours.
That's too much.
Yeah, 28 rounds, and it was grueling. And Sleeper was getting, really sluggish towards, once you hit round 20. Things were happening. They were getting internal server errors and a bunch of stuff. But, yeah, 5 hours, man, it was grueling.
That's rough.
So,
I've been in some auction drafts that have gone 4 hours, but then I made them cut the time down from a minute 30 per pick to 30 seconds per pick because it's too much. It takes up too big of a chunk of your day. So
yeah, honestly, this has been very refreshing of a draft.
Absolutely. Well, that does it for the draft. AR, thank you so much for jumping on, man. You made this podcast infinitely more interesting by being on here. I really, really appreciate you saving me from just speaking for an hour here about everyone's picks. So, and the insight was amazing, and I'm so glad we got you on, man, because your insight on that first podcast that I messed up the recording on, I was really, really upset about it. So I'm glad that you're on here. And if you want to jump on at any point during the season, we're going to have a lot of NFL podcasts as well. So I really appreciate it.
Man. Looking forward to it. Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. And everyone listening, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, share. If you're listening on a podcast platform like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, whatever you're listening on, follow us, give us a 5-star rating, and then follow us as well. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Just jumped on Facebook. So you can't escape the Football View Football podcast wherever you go. So thank you so much, AR, again. Until next
Absolutely.
time,
Sure.
have a fantastic day, football fans.